To LeBron or not to LeBron? That seems to be the question on the table today, among a few others, including to Embiid or not to Embiid. How about to Halliburton or not to Halliburton? These are all serious questions we're going to do our best to answer here on the NBA Tip-Off Show, powered by WagerTalk.com on this Monday, December the 18th. And the good news is we get to do it with three of the best here, the Monday crew at Wager Talk, as Skee Profit in the house, as is Mr. Andy Lang, the prop god, and RC hanging, ready to roll here. He might very well have a few answers to those very important questions here tonight, and a loaded NBA card. Want to welcome those of you joining us for the very first time here at Wager Talk TV. Smash that like button if you haven't done so already. And of course, become part of the Wager Talk TV family by subscribing to us as we get ready to dive into today's slate. And no better place to start than with the Contrarian Gods, who last time I checked, I'll have to double check with RC here, but if I'm not mistaken, the San Antonio Spurs were the hot item on a Friday, in which Teddy gave the double finger to the Contrarian Gods. Didn't work out all that well for Teddy there. We'll see how these guys go with the Contrarian Gods and the Pacers tonight. And why is that? Well, the Pacers are playing the Clippers here, guys, and doesn't seem like anybody wants to run to the window and bet anything except the total, right? Up from 244 to 247. But what are you thinking here, man? I mean, Halliburton's going to go. The total says it, Skee. And nobody wants to bet the Pacers at home here except the Contrarian Gods. Are you a believer that they might hold serve here at home court tonight?
Yeah, I could understand it. First thing that pops out to me in this one, Clippers been playing really well lately on a nice win streak. They've covered 5 of their last 6 games, and the Pacers have lost, I think, 3 in a row here. And this game only opens up, I think it was -2.5 for the Clippers, basically a pick 'em. I just feel like that's kind of telling of what the books expect in this game. And I look at it a little bit closer. The Clippers don't have a winning record on the road, 4-7 straight up. So for as good as they've been playing lately, have they been figuring it out, or were they just playing well because they were at home? I guess we'll see in the near future. But I agree with you. I think the line is telling us that Halliburton will be back in the lineup. So far this season, Pacers are 3-0 as a home dog. So if they have their leader out there tonight, they're at the house. I think they can keep it close, if not win the game.
Yeah, I can't argue with you here. I think, Andy, in addition to backing the home dog here, I would imagine with Halliburton on the court, they're going to be maybe a guy or two that we can actually hang on the prop betting market as well, no?
Yeah, it's actually been really frustrating. I didn't even see any Pacers props in the last game because we didn't know about Halliburton, and then by the time we get notification, they just didn't even put anything out. So something similar is going on here. I actually like some. This line is really crazy. I wondered if the Pacers and the Lakers were going to be fades after that in-season tournament, and it sure kind of looks that way. I mean, Pacers, they beat Detroit, and then they get beat bad by Milwaukee, by the Wizards, lost by 18 to the Timberwolves. Meanwhile, you got Clippers winning 7 straight. Clippers 4-1 ATS last 5. Pacers 1-4 ATS last 5, and it's only +3.5. And it's like, yeah. Kind of feel like the books are telling us something with that. There were a couple fights on the UFC card that the line told you exactly what was going to happen, and sure enough, it did. It was like, why is everyone on this one fighter, and the line's moving the other way? So I kind of feel like you're getting something here a little bit, something similar. I do actually have a little same game parlay I found on DraftKings that I think might be worth sprinkling if you're watching this game and you're looking for something fun. You can put Kawhi Leonard to have 20+ points. I mean, the guy's averaging 29.4 in December. He's shooting 62% from the field, 57% from threes. I don't know if you've noticed, Pacers not exactly great at defense, so I think Kawhi is going to have a pretty good game. Zubac to have 8+ rebounds. He's gone over in 9 out of 11 games. They're the fourth worst defensive rebounding percentage team the last 5 games. This is going back to kind of fading this Pacers team from the in-season tournament. And they just take the Clippers team total over 119.5. The last 5 opponents, the Pacers flown over this total. Even the Pistons got over the total here. So just kind of this Pacers team, I'm not sure they have their legs under them after that in-season tournament. So I'll be fading them. I think that same game parlay could be a good one tonight.
All right, good stuff there. Good approach. RC, Ronald Kabang. Nobody has been more in tune with the contrarian gods than you here, my friend. So the Pacers tonight at home, we'll just go under the assumption Halliburton is playing, because I got to believe this number probably shrinks a little once he's rolled in. But what do you think? Are you on the same page with him here in this one tonight against the Clippers?
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely want Hallie in for sure. I know Skee mentioned the home dog situation for the Pacers, 3-0 straight up and against the spread as home dogs for the Pacers there. One thing that I looked at for the Clippers side, this is the first of a 3-game road trip for them off a 4-game homestand. This is also the first time they're traveling from home to the Eastern Conference, so first non-conference road game off a home game. And they did have 2 other non-conference road games this season, and they actually lost both of them, failed to cover both. They lost 97 to 111, to 111 to the Knicks, 93 to 100 to the Nets. So they didn't even reach 100 on either one of those games here. So yeah, if Hallie is in, I'm definitely with the contrarian guys tonight.
Yeah, and I doubt this is going to be 3 or 4 once he gets announced in. So opportunity knocking. That is for sure here with the Pacers tonight at home taking on the Clippers. All right, we get ready to move on to our featured matchup of the night. And what better than East Coast, West Coast here? We got the Knicks taking on the Lakers here tonight, and what should be a pretty fun one. Looking like 4.5s now, 5, 4.5, and 5, 234.5. The total certainly seems to be being bet up here. And Skee, it's been a while since we had you back in the Lakers in any way, shape, or form here. Might we get a vote of confidence from you in this one tonight against the Knicks?
Well, I do not want the Knicks. I'll tell you that for sure. I keep coming whenever I talk about these Knicks games, and I feel the same way. Ever since that Bucks game in the in-season tournament, I just feel like that game broke this Knicks team. Like, they know they can't compete with the best, and ever since then, they haven't really been playing any defense. The worst defensive rated team in the league last 5 games, and for the Knicks team, that's usually their identity, and for Thibodeau teams in general. So that just lets me know that that's not a team that I want to back. For the Lakers, I feel like after they won the in-season tournament, it was a little bit of a hangover. But after losing to the Spurs now, that's a little bit of a wake-up call for them. They're fairly healthy. Like, all the wings, the people that I really trust for defense, I expect to be out there. Anthony Davis is a usual game time decision. We know he's important for their defense. But I just think Lakers will be able to score at will in this game. No Mitchell Robinson for the Knicks means AD should have a field day in the paint, as well as LeBron, guys like that. So I would only look towards the Lakers side here, and I agree with the total, moving towards the over. I already talked about the Knicks defense, so if the Lakers are getting what they want and scoring at will, I think they do majority of the heavy lifting. Probably look at their team total, but only way to play this game is gone over 8 in a row for the Knicks. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Play the over or fade the Knicks for me.
One or the other. There you go. All right. It's been a rough stretch here for the Knicks here. I guess if Brunson makes every shot again, maybe they have a chance here, Andy. But how are you approaching this one here tonight against the Lakers? What are you thinking?
One prop really jumps out to me. That's LeBron James under 8.5 rebounds. It's generally night to night. He's pretty close to getting over, but he's just not there. And you always see these lines overinflated for the big name guys. So, he goes over against the Pacers in that championship game. He has 11, only 8 against Dallas, 7 against San Antonio. And even before that, 5 against New Orleans, 8 against Phoenix, 4 against Houston. So I just think this is not a great category for him. And right now, the Knicks are number 1 in rebounds allowed for the season. So I think this number is just a little bit too high. I'll take the under on LeBron on his rebounds.
Ooh, I like that. Like that approach there. What are you thinking there, RC, with these Lakers? Are you sticking a fork in the Knicks like Skee is, or you think the Lakers got any value here?
I don't know. From the side perspective, it's kind of crazy because after, like Ski said, after winning the in-season tournament, they've kind of struggled. They failed to cover in 3 straight games. It's mainly because of their defense. They've allowed their opponents to go over their team total in all three. I mean, like losing to the Spurs, man, they gotta. You would think they would want to bounce back in some type of way here. Their schedule though is not the best to back. This is they were on a pretty big road trip, and then they have a 1 game homestand here. Then they head out for another 3 game road trip. So it's not the best schedule to back here. But on the Knicks side, this is the fourth of a 5 game road trip. They've didn't technically have to travel since they played the Clippers on Saturday, but it's still on the road here. And then the Knicks, defensively, they've been terrible lately too. Opponents have gone over their team total in 6 straight games. Overall, Knicks games have gone over in 8 straight. From a side perspective, like I said, I don't know who to trust here because both teams have been just terrible defensively. So for me, I would probably look towards the over in this one and kind of just stay away from the side.
All right, Void Decide looking at the over here tonight with the Knicks and the Lakers, and what should be a good late night game there. And of course, speaking of totals, we've got one here for our overtime section, and this is an interesting one. Certainly has been getting bet up from the opening line of 231, 234 and a half now, as Brooklyn taking on Utah in Utah. Tricky place to play here, but certainly I don't know how much defense we're going to get in this one here. Skee, do you agree with the move to the over? And is that the only place you'd look in this one?
Well, I don't feel extremely strong about it, but I wouldn't be. No, I don't necessarily agree. Usually, when these teams play, it does go under. I think the last 5 games for one, and you're missing the starting point guard for the Utah Jazz, as well as another one of their leading scorers in Jordan Clarkson. So just those 2 things already make me lean towards an under. Um, I don't really trust the way either team has looked defensively lately. So that kind of, makes me not get to the window with it. But missing those guys, I'll lean towards the under here.
Yeah, it's last. I believe this is the last of a 5 game road trip as well for the Nets. They'll be heading back after this here. So maximum effort possibly. Andy, is there anybody you're looking at maybe to back from a prop betting perspective as well?
Yeah, I'll be looking at Colin Sexton. It's interesting. There's one of 2 ways that you could go about playing Colin Sexton tonight. So he's been shooting the ball a ton. So he's gone over his point total 3 games in a row, but he's been going under his rebounds and assists, mostly because he's shooting and not passing. I kind of like his under rebounds and assists at 8.5. He's only gone over 5 times in 26 games this season, and he had a great chance to go over this total as guys were out in the last game against Sacramento. He had 3 rebounds and 1 assist, but 28 points. And he shot the ball 18, 17, and 18 times the last 3 games. So to shoot first, not necessarily passing, is not a rebounder. So I don't know. If you're looking at Sexton, I would just focus on the rebounds, assists. I would look on the points. I think it's pretty good because that point total is only 21.5. If he shoots the ball 18 times, he's probably going to get over it again. So Sexton under his rebounds and assists, but over his points. I really like those looks in this game.
All right, good stuff. Yeah, what are you thinking here, RC? We've got no Keontae George, no Jordan Clarkson. Colin Sexton is it. Are you shocked that the initial move was up in this one? To Skee's point, I don't know that I'm running to the window to think Utah's going to get all these points here tonight. What do you think?
Yeah, I think one guy you didn't mention is Laurie Markkinen. I was looking at him, and they've been slowly getting a little bit healthier. Obviously, no George and no Clarkson is huge, but the guy that Andy mentioned, Sexton, he's been playing really well. With them out of the lineup, so I don't think there's that huge of a drop off as far as like offense goes. But I know the Nets, coming off of a loss, they do really well. They're actually 7-1 or 8-1 ATS off of a loss, and it really has to do with how they bounce back offensively. So for me in this situation, I'm looking at a lot of different things here. Even just looking towards the Jazz, like I said, Markkinen, I think it's 7-1 to the over at home when he's in the lineup, 3-1 to the under when he's not in the lineup, and that one game that went over because it was an OT. So at home with Laurie in the lineup and even with a couple of the other guys out, they've been going up and over the total. If you look at them in non-conference games, they're 4-0 to the over as well. And then the Nets here 3-0 to the over. In non-conference road games, the Nets have allowed their opponents to go over in 4 of the last 5 games. So their defense in these situations is not that great either. So for me, I do think that the way that it's going is the right way to go. I feel like uh, two the games that went over in that situation, uh, they went up and over 244 points each. So the Nets not really
Wow.
playing defense in that spot. So to me, I like the way that it's going. I think the over is the right way.
All right, agrees with that line move up and over. Nets taking on the Utah Jazz. All right, we've got some best bets coming. We're going to take a look at a few dogs. Just want to remind you guys, if you're joining us live, smash that like button. Those of you hanging out there, catch you slipping. You got Sean Evans, Professor Chris. You guys know the routine. And if you are joining us for the first time, hit that subscribe button while you can. Become part of the WagerTalk TV family. Nobody has got more content on head-to-head matchups than we do, available by just a quick click of the button. Become a member. Subscribe here today to WagerTalk TV as we get ready to talk some dogs. In fact, there's got to be one or two that are going to be barking here tonight. Robert, let's see what we got.
That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog. And anybody got to say anything, you let me know. That's my dog.
All right, some interesting ones here. Well, not the Pistons; they're not very interesting. But the Hornets suck too. Pacers, we talked about. The Miami Heat also hanging out. The Jazz, we just talked. How about the Wizards? The Bulls, Rockets find themselves as a dog. The Grizz, the Knicks, and of course the Dallas Mavericks also find themselves in a dog role. So, Skee, kick us off here, man. Interesting dogs on the list here tonight. Is there one that stands out to you?
Yeah, I think I'll use another one for best bet segment. But for that's my dog, I like this one too. I'm gonna go with the Mavericks. And I'm looking for them on this list. At the bottom, plus 8.5. It raised up because Luka Doncic got added to the injury report with an illness, but they're saying that they're still expecting him to play today. And my thought process in this one is, I feel like Doncic has been playing, lights out lately. He's been playing a lot better than Jokic for the other side. I know the Mavericks haven't been playing the best competition lately, but they are 5-1 ATS their last 6. I like the way they've been looking. And this game is important. Denver did beat them the other time that they faced each other this year. But if you look at the standings right now, I mean, this team's number 3 and number 4. And whoever wins this game is going to have that number 3 spot. And it could very well matter towards the end of the season when you start to look at playoff seeding. So I think you get a really good effort from this Dallas team. And as good as Denver is, I don't think they have anybody who could stop Lucas. So if you give me 8.5 points when I think they can win the game outright, I'll grab it.
All right, not a bad look there. Dallas here tonight with Luka expected to go. How about you, Andy Lang? Some intriguing dogs on this list. Talk to me about one.
I kind of like the Knicks. I know I'm playing with fire on this one, but listen, when I watched the Pacers and Lakers play in that game, I thought these are two teams that are really going all out. I think they might be fade for the next couple weeks. Sure enough, they have not looked great. You got the Lakers, they come back, they lose to Dallas, barely beat San Antonio, then lose to San Antonio. So it's the Pacers and the Lakers are just not two teams I want any part of right now. So they're going to be managing minutes on their superstars, and you got the Knicks who I mean, just got their breaks beaten off by the Clippers. But before that, they did beat Phoenix. So I don't think they want to get creamed by two LA teams back to back. So I think they show up pretty strong. And I think this Lakers and Pacers team are going to be a fade for a few more games. So I'll take the Knicks +4.
All right, going to back the Knicks here to shoot their way in LA. How about you, RC? Some intriguing ones here on the board for a dog. Which one's barking for you? Don't you dare say it. Don't you
And
say it.
and he said he was playing with fire. I'm playing with fire. I think the Pistons can cover tonight. I do. I really
love it.
do. If there was ever a spot to back the Pistons, it would be today. It would be today against the Hawks. I mean, at home, the Hawks are 3-7 straight up, 1-9 against the spread. They haven't covered a game as a home favorite either, and they're what is it, 127.5 average for them. Their opponents averaging 128.3 in those spots. Obviously, not all those teams were the Pistons, but at the same time, this Pistons team is a professional team. They're not gonna lose the rest of the season. I mean, they're gonna have to win something, right? I mean, they just faced the Pacers. They faced they faced the Sixers twice in a row. Then the Bucks. Most teams are gonna look bad against those guys. So I think recency bias has moved this line a little bit too far from where it should be. I think the Pistons cover the 12 tonight. 12 is just too much for the Hawks to lay.
Ooh, man, when we talk about going out on a limb here, man, hell, a dog are going to be barking. I mean, they very well could lose every game, but we don't need them to win. We just need them to cover and stay within the points there. So Pistons for RC here tonight against the Atlanta Hawks. And quite honestly, who the hell are the Hawks to be laying double digits against anybody? So let us move on to our best bets here tonight, guys. You know the routine. We do throw 60 seconds on the clock. These guys can do whatever the hell they want with it. We just ask that they drop us a best bet along the way. And Skee, it is up to you here, my man. 60 seconds on the clock. Where are you going for a best bet here tonight?
Yeah, I changed my mind as far as what I sent in earlier, so hopefully that's all right. I am going to use the Heat +2. And I think it's pretty interesting to say the least. It's like Minnesota is number 1 in the West, and they opened up this game -1. I think that's telling me that Anthony Edwards might not be in for this game. And this is a Timberwolves team who's had to travel every single game so far this month, going up against a Heat team who has been at home for 6 days in a row. And coming off of that game with the game winner, I just think that kind of gives them a little bit of a boost here. They're also getting healthier. You have Tyler Hero back in there, Bam back in the lineup, and Jimmy going up against one of his old teams. I'm sure he would love to stick it to him at home. And this Minnesota team, for as good as they've been all year, the defense has been lacking on the road. They allow less than 100 at home, but I think it's closer to like 117 or something like that on the road. So I think Miami can get the job done here tonight.
Oh, I just like the record to reflect that was the Miami Heat that Skee was picking there. I got some tape. We'll rewind, and I got some highlights of somebody not very nice to the Miami Heat here, but back in. And by the way, the Anthony Edwards making headlines here over the last couple hours. I'm wondering whether or not he will actually take the court tonight here. I keep waiting for that line to flip, but it has not done so already. But Minnesota taking on the Heat tonight. The Heat getting a couple, well, at least one bucket at home. All right, Andy, you got 60 seconds on the clock. Come on, man. Where are you rolling for a best bet here tonight?
I'm going to go to Jarrett Allen, and I like him to go over his rebounds tonight. It is 10.5 right now, and don't forget they don't have Evan Mobley. Now, he went 4 games without going over this total at 9, 7, 5, and 10 without Mobley. But you look at the teams that he played, and they played Boston twice. Well, Boston is 12th in allowing rebounds to opposing teams. He played Orlando, they're 5th. He played Miami, they're 2nd. This is a Houston team that is 23rd this season. They give up over 53 rebounds a game, but they're actually even worse in their last 3. 5th worst, they're at 55.7. And when we look at what's happened in the last game that Jared Allen played, he played Atlanta, not a great rebounding team, and he had 14 rebounds. So he's going to be the guy inside, controlling the paint, controlling the rebounds. I think this number is a little bit too low, so I'll happily take Jared Allen over 10.5 rebounds.
All right. Jared Allen getting it done here tonight. That's also a pretty interesting game. That leaves us, of course, with RC, who no doubts. He went with the Pistons. I don't think he's going to double up there. So where are you going for a best bet tonight, RC?
I'm going with the Clippers team total under 125. I think you could get it at 125 and a half right now. But Pacers might be one of the worst defensive teams in the league, but they've only given up more than 125 points at home just twice out of 12 home games so far this season. Their defensive rating is actually 127 on the road, which is worse in the league by margin. But at home, it's 113.8. So there's a significant gap between how much better they are defensively at home than they are on the road. If we dive a little bit deeper, every non-conference opponent to visit Indiana has stayed under their team total. Every game as a home dog, the Pacers have limited their opponents under 125 points. I also talked about earlier how the Clippers lost and failed to cover both road non-conference games so far this season, scoring 97 and 93 in those two games. In general, their offense is less efficient on the road than it is at home. So for me, I like this one to stay under the team total 125, whether they win or lose.
Ooh, I like it. All right. Expecting not as many points here tonight for the Clippers. So to recap one more time for you guys here, team total under 125, win or lose for RC. I can't believe it. Somebody take a screenshot of this. The Heat for Skee, backing them as a best bet here tonight. And Jared Allen over 10.5 boards with no Mobley here tonight for 1. Andy Lang. Guys, I do want to remind you tomorrow is $2 Appreciation Tuesday. That's right, customer appreciation, which means, that's right, all packages tomorrow, $2. It's a great opportunity for you guys to partner up with anybody here, whether it be Andy, whether it be Skee, whether it be RC, Ronald Kabang, or hell, all three of them. I mean, $2 Customer Appreciation Tuesday, a hell of a way. The final one of the year in 2023. Great opportunity for you to catch all their best bets here for just $2. They are locked and loaded tonight as well. Little something for everyone. College hoops, NBA, Monday Night Football, bowl week, all week long. The bowl games are firing away. So there's a lot to look forward to here this week, which is why, once again, smash that like button if you're joining us here live. If you're watching the replay and you are new to WagerTalk TV, hit that subscribe button and go ahead and click on this video on your screen right now, because it'll give you the opportunity to check out all the upcoming big games, head-to-head matchups, along with great game breakdowns and more best bets just a click away. And until tomorrow, we'll be back with the NBA tip-off show. Until then, best of luck with all those plays here tonight, guys. We'll talk to you again soon. Good luck.